you know what? I'm loving so many people are here this morning.
Yeah,
Love that.
Because some conversations I have with people and they're like, oh, really? That really happened to you? And I'm like, what bubble are you living in?
It actually doesn't have a positive effect on the body.
they know that they don't know and still won't go out and find the information.
Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. And I wonder, is that too old to mention an award? We're in 2025. That was 7 years ago. Is that too old to mention? Like the 2020... I go, yeah, that's within reach, but 2018 is a while ago, so I don't know if that's all. You guys tell me. You tell me. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads, fathers, and male caregivers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And with our partnership, the team that I'm on with Dove Men Plus Care, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. As always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Welcome to June 2025. It is finally here. Finally here. I'm sort of going, really? It seemed to take a long time. Like, it's funny. Months seem to go fast, and then when a new month starts, a lot of people say, wow, it took so long. The last month was so slow, but June is finally here in Toronto. I'm a little bit of sometimes a periodic weather freak, and I'm gonna give you the Toronto weather for today. Today it is 11 degrees Celsius where I live in the general Toronto area. It is clear. It's going to get up to 23 degrees Celsius. So for those people who think it's outside of America, everyone else understands the Celsius. Right about 50-ish, 55-ish. Right now, we're going to get up to 75. That's in the old temperature scale. And believe it or not, we're expecting a mostly sunny day for 2 days. It's actually going to get warmer tomorrow with some humidity, and then we're getting 3 straight days of rain. I don't know. Maybe we should start a lottery to see when Toronto's going to get more than 4 days, or the area I live in, 4 days worth of sunshine and no rain. But we'll take it one day at a time. We're supposed to get Wednesday? We're supposed to get about half an inch to an inch of rain, a little bit of rain on Thursday, then 2015, like, was it 25? 3/4 of an inch to an inch and a half of rain on Friday. Wow. Oh my. All right. Well, there are people already in the house. Good morning. Hope you are doing fine. Please shout out where you're from. We'd love to hear from you. And co-host Ryan, you know what? I see something I don't like already. Well, no, it's not too bad now. All right. I got to do this. All right. My co-host Ryan Oneil Knight, he's going to be taking a little bit of a sabbatical. He has some things and he's okay. He's all right. But he's going to be taking a little bit of a break over this month of June. So I guess most of the shows I'll be hosting on my own. I will invite co-hosts if they'd like to join with me. I'm going to reach out to some people to see if they want to hang out with me. Don't worry though, the morning vibe goes on. I have a number of guests lined up, as you know I do. So starting this Friday, Wayne Harris is going to be on for his monthly visit on Financial First Fridays. A week from today, Carolyn Nicole of Energy Juice Shack Bar will be talking about celiac disease, and because it was such a hot conversation. Well, it's always hot when she comes on, but we're going to do a part 2 because there was so much engagement. Emma, who was on with us with Donovan Martin Sr. a week ago today, she will be coming on a regular basis starting the 4th Monday of this month, and I'm looking for other guest suggestions. So if you have any guest suggestions, please contact me. Please contact me. Myself, what went on this, and just to announce, whatever you'd like to talk about, put it in the comment section. This is like a, what's it? Free for all Monday. I got to figure out a better title. I have to get something with an M Monday. I don't know. I'm off the top of my head. I can't think of something. If you have a title when we have an open mic Monday or something like that, I'd like to have something really catchy. So if you have any suggestions, that is great. Myself over the weekend, Saturday. Did some appliance shopping on Saturday. Also went to a restaurant that I went to last Saturday, went back again. I won't give them a plug. I'm going to see if they want to become a sponsor. Hello. Went back there again, had a really good meal. Some really, really good food that lasted me, filled my stomach for the next day, basically. All I had yesterday was salad, and that was cool. Unfortunately, a good acquaintance of mine, I found out that she has cancer. She's been diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, and my prayers are going out to her. It's a little bit caught me off guard. I spent a little bit of yesterday processing that situation. You know what? I'm going to do something here because there is something that I'm not feeling here right now on the live broadcast. All right, we're going to do that. I'm going to change. I did a little bit of so if you're watching, I changed the look a little bit because I wasn't 100% happy with the way I was projecting myself on screen. Could have said looking on screen, but I'd like to say projecting myself on screen. So it looks like it's a quiet day today. Man, people are not here today, but that's okay. Whoever is here is here. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to have to do a hand solo show. So I'm going to have to chat about either stuff that's going on in the world or about me. I'm not that interesting of a guy, so I don't know if I'm going to tell you a lot about myself. But also on Saturday, a great primetime Saturday with Aisha. Lala was not, no, with Lala. Aisha was not there. Lala was there, and it was rocking. She was on fire for about an hour and 15 minutes, just dropping knowledge on. So make sure you go to wherever you're watching this to watch the replay. All right. So I see someone is watching on YouTube. Please say hello. And if you're watching on YouTube, what do you want to chat about today? You've got control of Dr. Vibe and the morning vibe today. Whatever you want to talk about. I have some topics, but I'd like to make sure this is audience driven. What else? What else would happen? Starting to plan for Father's Day. I mentioned I went to a place on Saturday. I've actually went to there 2 Saturdays in a row to eat because I love the food so much and the atmosphere. After someone has showed up on screen. Shirley Jusma, how are you? Good morning. Good morning, Shirley. How you been? I don't know if I've heard from you in a little bit. Hope things are going fine. What would you like to chat about today, or what you'd like Dr. Vibe to give his take on today? You have me at your disposal digitally today. I don't happen that often. So take advantage of it. I was going back. I was planning for Father's Day, and after I left the restaurant, it's coming a hangout, I guess now. I called up my dad, said, "Dad, what are you doing on Father's Day?" He says, "Don't know." So, okay, let's go. We're going out for Father's Day. Call up the other relatives and see who's available. So I told them I want to find out by the end of this week at the latest so I can book this restaurant. So Father's Day is taken care of. Yes, it is taken care of. As you can tell, Ryan's not here. So, and we don't have a friend on with us today. So this is your advantage time. Work to your advantage. Make it happen. What do you want to chat about today? Shirley's in the house. Whatever you want to chat about, Shirley. Not many times. As I say to people these days, when you're interviewing me or in a situation like this, it doesn't happen that often where you get to, find out what's going on in my alleged mind. Maybe put it that way. Find out what's going on. And even my producer, if there's anything you want to chat with me about, put in the private chat. We'll certainly do some flow with that. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to take a break, 30-second break, come back and see if we can get some engagement going on. So we'll be back in about 30 seconds. Black Men Can Talk, a show where Black Canadian men come together to have real unfiltered conversations about life, culture, and community.
There is that weight that is put on Black men in order to show their worth.
But I think our children are now in a space, in a place where they are doing better. You know, as somebody who works with young people.
And in a lot of cases, a lot of the impact that they've seen happens after they're gone.
Okay, we are back on the Morning Vibe on the first Monday in June 2025. And I just remembered something, another thing I need to share about. Let's do some housework. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Please like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Some good news. We have finally passed 1,820 subscribers on YouTube. It was a little bit of an uphill climb, but we've got it done. So and again, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed and you feel like you want to subscribe, please make it happen. Would love to do that. Would like to get to 1,830 subscribers. Let me be aggressive by the end of this week. Let me be assertive by the end of this. Can we get to 1,830 subscribers by the end of this week? Would love that. All right. And follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Okay. Join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Please email me at dr.vibe@vibeshow.com or click on the link that's on the screen, which you'll also be able to see in the chat of most of the platforms that you're watching this on. To advertise your business, product, or service on our show or any of the shows I'm a part of, email me dr.vibe@vibeshow.com. And then finally, you know what? I should have asked her to come on. Should have done that. Dr. Tachi's platform, Indie Soup TV, independent content creators platform, has getting close to 30,000 subscribers in about 14 months. It is massive. Oh, people are jumping in. Good. But there's how you can catch on YouTube and the website. All right, fantastic. Let's see who's jumping in here. Shirley, summer events in the community. You know, that's a good topic. Well, if we get some consistent summer weather, that'd be great. What sort of summer events? Oh, okay. Summer events are, thank you, Shirley. Thanks for bringing up some topics. The summer events, and you're also saying recent arson on 3 restaurants in Scarborough. You know what? It's funny. One of the co-hosts on my Black Men Can Talk show last week mentioned that there was a fire in a plaza that's close to where I live. So I don't know if, you know what? Let me just take a quick look. I said, oh my goodness, and I didn't know about this. I'm going to do a quick look online to see about, okay. So here we go. All right. Toronto police are investigating 2 incidents of arson in East York and Scarborough. All right, let me just see. See if they're related. One on Danforth Road, Pape and Danforth, which is a little bit from me, and another one at Birchmont Road and Vauxhall, which is not that far from where I live. Yeah, this arson thing is a little bit crazy. People burning things down. I just think there's a lot of trauma. That's another example of a lot of trauma that's going on out there. You know, and you're saying I'd like to hear Roger Dundas on that topic in regards to the arson on the restaurants. Well, I don't know if he's watching today. If he is, I know Roger would jump in. 3 restaurants. You know what? And I just looked up arson in Scarborough, but let me take a look at, I'll just be more specific in my looking. Restaurants in Scarborough. So let me just see. 3rd suspected fire. 2. Okay, let me see. 2. Okay, let me just see. Now I'm seeing a little bit more. 2. Okay. Oh, so Shaz. Okay. All right. So Shaz Indian Cuisine. I know where that is. Yeah, that's not that far. And Busy. Yeah, that's really close. They're basically up the street from each other. Wow. I'm just taking. Okay, yes. Okay. So the one that was at the the one that is at is it White Shield Plaza at Kennedy and Lawrence? Wow, I'm taking a look at it right now. Wow, 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 wow. That's crazy. And the other place I know about, yep. Jeez. Yeah, White Shield Plaza. Yep. White Shield Plaza. You know what's funny? About a day before that happened, I was at that plaza. Wow, that is gutted. Wow. Okay. And they've got video camera. What? Wow, that's pretty brazen. That is pretty brazen. Wow, people must think that they're bigger than the law. Okay. No, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Like, I'd heard about one of the fires, but I didn't know there were two fires. That is, yeah, it is scary. Fitness IQ says, Morning. Well, Fitness IQ, what's going on? Would you like to join me today on the show? I could email you. And Shirley Josman says, that's scary. Yeah, it is. I took a look at the story, and thank you for asking. I didn't ask for your permission. I said, I took my own permission to look at it. That is crazy. I know where both restaurants are, and believe me, they're both within 15 minutes drive of where I live. That is what I'm going to do is sometime during this week, I'm actually going to drive in that area and just take a look at those, what used to be restaurants. That is crazy. And there's video camera of the two individuals. And the thing is, I saw watching the video, the camera, I have a feeling the camera will be able to get the license plate, because I believe when I looked at the video, yeah, this is really concerning. Yeah, because I'm looking at this video again on a news station platform, and there's a video of the two gentlemen. Yeah, look at this. Wow. Yeah, there's a video of this, and wow, that is crazy. The other one, I'm not 100% sure it is. It's in the same general area. Wow. A shopkeeper doesn't deserve that. Does not deserve that. Well, from what I know, again, just looking high level. No, that's just not. And there's the one at White Shield Plaza. I'm just taking a look at this story again because I want to see the CATV tape where it shows there's two gentlemen that come up to the store. One of them lights some sort of flammable or what? Okay, actually, yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling if the police camera, zooms in, they'll be able to get the license plate. So not good. Not good. All right. Good morning, Inspired Thoughts. Hope you are fine. Happy Monday. So basically, what else you want to chat about today? Shirley Josma talked about 3 restaurants being burned or arsoned. Is that the word? Arsoned in the area that I live, which I had no idea about really. Summer events and community. What summer events are you going to want to check out wherever you live? What are the summer events that you want to check out where you're living? And actually, I'm going to do another thing today. Since a little bit quieter so far today, let's find out. Let me do this real quick. Let me just do this real quick. All right, let's do this. Haven't done this for a while, but I want to do it today since we have some room to do it. Where is everyone chiming in from today? Oh, what was that? That was weird. Are we being listened to? Wow, that was weird. Even my producer's going, what is that all about? All right, so I haven't done this for a while. So if you're watching on the YouTube channel, okay, we got people in. Can you type in city and country where you're watching this from today? So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching the YouTube channel, city and country where you're watching this from today, that would be 100. Fantastic. So this is a time where I hang out with you and also get a chance to do some things, test some things. And I was speaking with the producer before we went live. We're going to be doing some more experimenting over the past month. So would love to see if you want to type in where you're chiming in for, or I can do some polls. Got a whole bunch of things I can experiment on today. But most importantly, I want to have your engagement today. I don't want to be blabbing. I want to be blabbing about something. So talk with me. Share with me what's going on there. Well, all you guys are quiet. Are you just getting into the week? What is actually, I'll do this. What is one win you've had recently? And it can be big or small. So I'd love you to put it in the chat. What's one win you've had? Since you're not going to tell me there it goes again. Do we have gremlins on the show, producer? Do we have gremlins? That I've never had. Well, see, at least it's something interesting. I have not had. Okay, Shirley says Richmond Hill, Canada. Yes. Fantastic. I'm really curious if that sound's going to happen again. Producers going, I would love to bring be able to take a screenshot of our producer and his face going, you can see that. Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? Oh, that's so good. That's good. Come on, people. Let's have a chat. Tell me what's going on in your world. Chat with me. Summer events. To be honest, I don't do summer events as much as I used to. Actually, one thing I will be doing, if you want to, summer's starting, I guess, in this part of the world for another few weeks, is I'm going to make a trip, hopefully, I'm going to make a trip down to Harlem Restaurant, which is reopened. I want to that on a Saturday or Sunday when I'm not doing a show. Okay, we got 10 people in the room. What do you want to chat about today? Open mic. Talk to me. Chat with me. What is going on? What is going on in your world? What do you want to chat about today? What do you want to ask Dr. Vibe about? Is there something you'd like to see on the Dr. Vibe show? All right, just give me a second. I've just got to do something here. C Nurse K. Good morning, C Nurse K. How are you? You're saying morning all. Good to see you in the house. So it's open mic. So whatever you want to talk about. C Nurse K is from Ajax, Ontario. All right. Fantastic. So I'm also going to say, what is one win that you've had recently? Can be big, can be small. Now, here's a perfect example. A number of years ago, I was doing some facilitating at the Salvation Army in downtown Toronto, and it was conducting a session with some of the people who are receiving the Salvation Army services. And some of them are challenged, a lot of them new Canadians. Other people say physical and emotional challenges. So I was in front of this group and I said, hey, what's one win you've had today? And a gentleman got up. He could only see with one eye. And he said, I have a win for you. And I said, what's your win? He says, I got out of bed this morning. So that's what I'm looking for when I'm talking about a win. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be one small thing. One little small thing. What is a win that you've had today? You know, my producer, he knows that before we're doing an offline session, I always ask him, what's a win you've had? Even if it's been 3 hours since we've chatted, I always ask him about a win. And he's smiling right now because he knows it's true. He knows that it's true. Wow, you guys are a quiet bunch today. There's a number of people in the room. Chat it up. What do you want to ask Dr. Vibe about? You don't get an opportunity that often to do that, folks. So take advantage of it. Make it happen. You know what? In order to liven this up, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Okay, mirror this. Oh, I don't want to mirror. I want to do this. That's what I want to do. You're a quiet bunch today. Come on, Fitness IQ Cam. I know you always got something to share. If you're still here or you in it and vacant. I know there's a number of people watching on YouTube. That I know. So there's 7 of you on. None of you have anything you want to say? Like, and you take advantage of Real Digital. You don't have to show your face. You can hide behind your keyboard and say whatever you want. I wouldn't anyways physically come after you. I may verbally question what's going on. So talk to me, chat with me. Even my producer, what do you want to chat about? Put in the private chat. We can hang out. I think he's pulling up something. He is pulling up something. Careful. Careful. He is pulling up something. Oh boy. Okay. He may put me on the spot in real time. Okay, let's see what he's put up. Why don't we? Oh, the new show that we're working on. Thank you. Well, which one? there's so many. Okay, which one? The one we did one already, or the one that's coming up? See, because there's 2 different ones we're working on. Oh, there's someone in the comment section too. Can we chat about the boycott of Target and the role Pastor Jamal Brown played in this execution? Apparently, CEO had to take. I didn't know that. Okay, so great topic. So for those who are not aware of the situation, Target. Most people know about Target in the U.S. and Canada. We only had Target for a short period of time, and they left because they weren't making enough money. Because of the rollback of DEI by the federal government in the United States, and then a lot of companies started rolling back DEI initiatives. A number of Black Americans, led by Pastor Jamal Bryant, started to boycott Target, and it seems that there has been a little bit of a dent in their sales since that has happened. I didn't know that the CEO had to take a 50% pay cut. Wasn't aware about that, which is very interesting. I'm just gonna Target. I'm gonna just verify not question what you're saying. Okay. It is true. Yeah. Pay cut of 40. Well, he's only getting $9.9 million a year, but yes. Okay. So okay. Let me just bring the story up. I'm going to actually share it on the screen quickly. And thank you for bringing that up. I have a very interesting take on that. Let me bring this up. And actually, just to share with, and the story is a real one. So here we have, Target CEO, pay declines 45%. Now, question is it how much does the boycott by Black Americans have to do with that? I'm sure it has a bit to do with it. Don't know how much, but I'm sure it has a bit. Yeah, so it's just reading the story here from MSN's website. Target CEO Brian Cornell earned $9.9 million. Oh, $9.9 million, down 87% from when his compensation peaked at $77.5 million in 2020. Really? The declining pay is an indication of the financial struggles the Minneapolis-based retailer has endured in recent years, as performance-based equity awards provide a declining share of his overall compensation. I'm just looking at this article really quick. See, this article doesn't mention anything about the boycott, but obviously Target is not performing to expectation of the shareholders. So yeah, and Senior's case says, I read they had a $12.4 billion loss. Okay, here's an interesting lens I have on that. I think it's great to boycott organizations that don't support Blacks in initiatives. My also concern is there's a lot of Black people that don't support Black-owned business. So nothing against the boycotting Target, but a lot of Blacks don't support Black business. Nurse K, what do you think about that take? There's a lot of Black businesses that don't get the support for whatever reasons from Blacks. That is another end of the conversation that a lot of people don't talk about. Yes, talk about the thing is, yes, a lot of Black Americans boycotting Target. Where are they spending their money? And wherever they're spending their money, do they know if those organizations support DEI initiatives? Right? It's, yes, it's good to divest from one, but are you supporting? Okay, the Walamala's in the house. The system is rigged. Why would you say that? Do you think so? The system is rigged. Well, let's put it this way. This is just Dr. Vibe. Oh, comments are coming in now. Cena's case says the pastor, had a whole campaign during his church services. Going and made a call to the congregation. Shows how we as a community, I'll say that, you'll say that word. I don't believe in that word. Can mobilize and have a voice heard. I consider this a win. I hear where you're coming from, but my question is, where did those dollars go to? Like I mentioned a few moments ago, if people boycotted Target and they spent their money at another institution that doesn't support us, I don't consider that a win, to be honest with you. Inspired thoughts. Agreed, Dr. Vibe, we need to shop our own businesses. Yeah. Like the place I went to the last 2 Saturdays is a Black-owned business. Great customer service, great service. Actually, when we went on Saturday, they were so, it's a fairly big place, but one of the sections was cornered off because they were having a private event. And the other area of the business was for the general public. I said, would you like to sit at the bar? I said, okay, no problem. We sat at the bar. The bartender was great. He was great. And we got our food within like 7 to 10 minutes, and they were busy. C-Nurse K says, look at the hair industry. A whole other time. Oh, well, I don't have to look at the hair industry. Right? Not as much as a number of Black women do. Yeah, we're just giving our money away to other people who may not have our best interests. But the hair industry, yeah, that's a whole other game. So I'm multi-purposing here because I want to be able to shout out all of you while we're having a conversation. You are fine. And so I want to say hello in the chat. I'll do that slowly but surely. Yeah, the hair industry has been a long time conversation. That's been a long time conversation. How, and this is not only Black women, Black men. We give our money to buy products to people who don't support us. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Shirley says it would be better to create a campaign to build our own food supply chain. How many workers would we need? That's a good question. And this is the key thing. A long time ago, someone taught me this, that the real key is distribution. Right? So let's put it away. Let's look at money. Banks don't print money, but they distribute the money. So they have power. The distribution is the key. Distribution. Many of us who look like us, we're great at creating and producing something, but when it comes to the distribution, we have no control. If you don't have distribution, unless you're doing it yourself. Actually, I was chatting with a gentleman yesterday. He has been in Canada about 4 or 5 years. He works in the health industry, and he is starting his own business, for lack of better, to distribute scrubs. So, you know, the blue scrubs that healthcare workers wear, or they wear in hospitals, etc. So I had met him for the first time yesterday, and I grilled him in a good way about his business, and asked him, what's the biggest challenge you're facing, etc. And it was a great conversation. And I want to support him as much as I possibly can. And support can come in many ways, whether it's financial, emotional, knowledge support, etc. These days, for me, my best avenue of providing support is either lived experience or experience of others to help others move forward, score goals, and get wins. CK says, at least it's a start. The same patch offer an alternative Black-owned market event for people to attend and shop. Good. The question is, will the people come out and shop? That's the question. Right? Let me just, as we're going through this briefly, do another shout out. And save. Thanks for stopping. Hey, look who's in the house. Minnie on cam. Morning, missed the show. Emailing an organization does not know the meaning of member spotlight. Okay. What's been going on in your world, Minnie on cam? Haven't heard from you in a little bit. And by the way, if you want to get some great information from the Disability Network, check some of the replays of Mignon Cam on the Morning Vibe. Great information. All right. Let me just see. Inspired Thought says, everyone have learned that we are low-hanging fruit. If they're not contributing dollars to our infrastructure projects, they do not have our interests at heart. Yeah, I don't disagree. We have to realize we live in a capitalist society, whether we like it or not. And those who have money have power and can shape what goes on with the general public or the general world. So let me just do another shout out to individuals here. Thanks. So for stopping by. I just saw what you put, Walla Mala. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Okay. Okay, so the Walla Mala says banks is synonym for scam. Now, why do you say that, Walla Mala? There must be a way. Must be a reason. I want you to type in the chat. Walla Mala. You good. Why you say that? Actually, let me just type this out. It's for, okay. I think there's only one person I haven't said hello to in the general chat, but you say banks are a scam. Well, again, yeah, the whole financial system is, it looks like it's only working. Well, let's realize that big organizations like banks, targets, they answer to shareholders. Their first thing is to answer to shareholders, not to us as the general public, believe it or not. That's who they answer to first, right? So we have to, we need to know, we have to start playing chess, not checkers. That's what I would say. You know? Okay, I'm just shouting out some people. Ah, so Fitness IQ Camp says then we need to become shareholders. Yes. The people that are making money these days with the uncertain times are shareholders. Like when you hear the market go down, the smart people are buying stocks when the market goes down, and especially with that gem in the United States, the way things go up and down. So when you buy them when the stocks are low, when they go high, you sell, you make a profit. As Wayne Harris says, the stock market over the long term never loses. Mignon Camp says it only takes money to become a shareholder. It's about priorities. Well thought. Mignon Cam or Mignon Cam or Fitness IQ. Any of you two want to come on and hang out for a few minutes, or you just want to stay at your keyboard? Would like either one. The invitation is real on whatever you want to chat about today. What am I going to do? I'm going to. What am I going to do? Oh, I know what I'm going to put up. I'm going to put up this. What am I going to put up? What am I going to put up? I have. Okay. What are. I've got something I want to do. So I'm going to put up another engagement. So just. Because most of people, a lot of people who watch this show are entrepreneurs. I'm going to put up something in a few moments after I could hang out. Okay, just give me a few moments. I just want to clear up some stuff. I may be able to get you on if I can multi-purpose enough. That's the thing, because there's a lot of things going on. So Mignon Cam says I could hang out. And says, did he not see? I said, oh, I did see it. There's just a number of moving parts because I'm doing this on my own. Front facing, I do have someone helping me out on the back end, but I just want to make sure I get one or two other things done, and then I'm going to do an engagement piece, and then Mignon Cam, I'll see if I can bring you on for a few moments. Let me just do this. So this is good. I love when y'all, as one of my new mentors, Tanya Smith says y'all. She lives in Texas. She says y'all a lot. So gotta love Tanya. And she is planning to come on the Dr. Vibe show in the near future. Incredible content creator. First off, she's a great person. Number one, she's a great person, but she's an incredible content creator. And she was the content creator that inspired me to start posting on Substack. When she comes on, you'll get one of the people who has become one of my digital mentors. And you'll see why. She is phenomenal. All right. Got to do one other thing in the section here, and then we will see if we can bring. Okay. So we're going to do that. That's done. All right. So we're up to date on comments. All right. We're up to date on comments. We are. See, this is called multi-purposing. I'm doing a pile of different things at once. All right. I have a engagement piece for you to answer. If you're watching on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube page, give me a second. I've got to activate it. See, I'm okay. This thing. Okay, there we go. All right, so we've done where people are watching from. Okay. We've got this engagement piece. And this is why I don't mind doing these once in a while. It gives me a chance to find out what works, what doesn't work, and tests my dexterity on the keyboard, as they said. Dexterity. I haven't used that word in a long time. Dexterity. My producer's going, where? They've probably never heard of that word. All right. So if you're watching live on the YouTube channel, what are you working on right now? What project or what next thing are you working on right now? I would love to see. What are you working on right now? Just curious. Is there a project, initiative? And it could even be personal. I'm working on my health. Oh, I'm working on being a better human being. It can be anything. What are you working on right now? I'd love, just out of curiosity, what are you working on right now? So we'd love to see what's answering there. Okay. Now, what am I working on right now? To see if I can get Minnie on cam on. That's what I'm working on right now. To get Minnie on cam. That's what I'm working on right now. So just give me a... the Walamala has answered myself. All right, let me put it up there. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper, Walamala. What aspect of yourself? That's a whole big thing. What aspect of yourself are you working on? Is there anything in particular that you're working on? So Walamala said, myself. What aspect of yourself? Very general. That's all of you. Is there any specific part that you're working on? I'm not saying, I don't want to get in your business, and it's up to you if you want to give a general answer on that, but what part of yourself are you working on? Just wanted to, inquiring minds want to know. This is my coach hat coming on. You know, what part are you working on right now? And okay, working on something. See, I'm really multi-purposing here, and I always hear ladies say guys can't multitask. Well, I'm multi-purposing. I don't like to call it multitask. I like to use different words. So Minnie on cam, if you take a look at your email, I have just kicked in. Okay, so you said becoming a better person than yesterday. Like that. Like that. I am aligned with you on that. I work on becoming a little bit better each day. Just a little bit. Even if it's a millionth of a percent. Work on being a little bit better each day. And as you see, you're seeing it on the screen. You work on becoming a little bit better each day. That's a wonderful thing. And for me, that's a lifelong journey. I never want to reach being there. I always want to have something to grab onto. So that is fantastic. So if you're willing to share, family, are you afraid that I'm going to put it up on the screen? You shouldn't be. It's a good thing. It's a good thing we're chatting about today. It's a good thing. Okay. So Minnie on Cam says, working on crafting this email to the nonprofit who needs an example, SOF, a member spotlight, because they don't know how to do one. Okay. So they need a member spotlight because they don't know how. Yeah, it's good to have member spotlight when you have, I guess, any sort of organization, especially a not-for-profit organization, having member spotlights. That's a great initiative. Are they pushing back on you on that, Minnie on Cam? Is it something that you mentioned verbally and they don't get it, or they're not seeing it and you have to do it via email? What has been the interaction up to this point when it comes to the them bringing it on? It's, well, bring it on. She's brought it on. Look who's in the house. Hello.
Okay.
How are you? Hey, by the way, for two things, great to see you.
Yeah.
And second of all, I love your blouse on you.
Yeah, I like it too. Thank you, Oneil.
Well, do you like wearing things you don't like to wear?
Well, I try. Well, I mean, as a kid, I had no choice. As an adult, it's a whole
Okay.
different experience.
Okay. Hey, Dr. Tachi, good to see you in the house. So Minnie, can you go in a little bit further on this, on the email you're working on?
Well, so I got invited to be an organization's first member spotlight,
Okay.
and the person that invited me was specifically wanting me to speak on my journey of entrepreneurship and navigating disability benefits.
Okay.
And then they said I could have slides and I could not have slides. Slides were optional, but I wanted slides because for me to summarize 22 years of my lived experience in a half an hour, I need to get focused. So then I made a whole draft document of everything I want to talk about. And then I got AI to make me questions that I could focus on of the first email.
Okay.
Then I emailed them and I was like, okay, so I need more clarity on what we're doing. And then the clarity meeting became unclear because of the person's supervisor in the meeting saying that my draft email is too much and too advanced. And then that they switched it as a presentation.
Yeah.
And their supervisor went off of not being a member spotlight. So then they were like, well, we need to be digestible for everybody in attendance. And I'm like, well, it's not supposed to be that. Like I was advocating for the member spotlight because that's what I thought I was supposed to be doing.
Right.
And then because of the way my brain obsesses all day long, I sent them an email on Saturday. It's Monday, but I've already made the other email of examples of member spotlights from other organizations,
Mhm.
and then letting them know that the supervisor's micromanaging of this thing is having me lose interest in the whole thing.
Okay. All right. So can I provide some feedback?
Yeah, I know you would. And we're live. So this is fun.
Yeah. And so just provide, and this is another thing I want to make sure I incorporate more and more. When someone puts on, I always say, do I have your permission or can I provide some feedback? First things first, congratulations on getting that opportunity. Want to celebrate that. This is one of the things that I always share with people, especially if you're in a situation like this. Are you dealing with the decision maker?
I
And
am.
No. But I'm seeing it sounds initially you weren't.
Yeah, I was initially with the program
Coordinator.
that always sees me in the meetings every month for a whole year.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is one of the things, and hey, you had no idea this, but this is why when you're offering, because I don't like the word pitch, because everyone uses the word pitch. When you're doing your offering, you want to speak to the person who's the decision maker. And the micromanagement piece, it does sound like you're getting micromanaged, but at least now you're dealing with, with the person who is the decision maker. Now, what's going to become of, then I would say if you're communicating directly with the decision maker, which you are, correct or not?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, then
because she came back from maternity leave and now she's ready to have her job. And I have to remind her that I'm not her employee. So
okay. So then my question would be, okay, what do you want this to look like?
I want the member spotlight, but I
No. Asking her what, because what you were told initially, and correct me if I'm wrong, is now totally different than what you're seeing now.
Yeah.
So the question is, what my feedback is in this situation, asking, okay, what do you want this to look like?
Well, I would like it.
No. Asking her or asking the supervisor what.
And I'm going back to what I wrote in my email, because I wrote it where I need trust to be able to be in the spotlight. And then my notes that I had was my brainstorm of everything so I can organize my thoughts. It wasn't like they thought what I had was like what I want to talk about, but it's not. It's just, how do I summarize all my achievements and celebrate everything I've done where it's focused in 30 minutes?
Okay. Would it be beneficial if you had either a virtual or face-to-face meeting with his supervisor?
We did. This is the problem.
Okay. And what Okay, so you had the meeting. Obviously, you're not aligned. Where is the misalignment?
So the misalignment activated when I got the email of the promotional blurb for them promoting it, and I'm not celebrated. It's like 2 lines,
Okay,
generic, flat, boring.
all right, and then you've come back to her with an email basically saying, I appreciate your thoughts. I would like to suggest this, and then provide a reason why you're suggesting this.
I not only I gave her a reason of a suggestion, I told her how I want to be spoken about in the newsletter. Like I gave her a full use this as my blurb in the newsletter in it. And then after I sent it, I felt awful.
Okay, me, I wouldn't tell people how I want to be. I would say this is how I suggest.
No, she asked. She asked me,
Okay.
we're gonna make a blurb of you and you can approve it so it's the way you want to be said. And it wasn't. So when it wasn't, and I gave her what I needed to be said, and I sent what I needed to be said, then my feelings of feeling this is a waste of time showed up.
Okay. Then you've sent this email. What on a scale of 0 to 10 at this time, how engaged are you pushing forward with this opportunity?
It's dropping very fast.
I want a number.
Oh, for dropping? It's a
No.
3.
Okay. Then right now, if it's a 3, what is that telling you on your next step? What's your
I'm gonna
next
have to
step?
walk away. I'm gonna have to choose to walk away soon, depending on how they respond. And then because I crafted this other email of giving them examples of a member spotlight that I thought I was being invited for, because I feel like the supervisor doesn't know what a member spotlight is.
Right. Okay. Well, and this is another good thing to share people who are either watching this live on the replay, having the option of walking away. Right? The more options you have, the more freedom you have.
Yeah.
And what was initially the ROI for you doing this?
An honorarium,
Okay.
and then I share my story. I give them basically an impact results of their organization actually getting testimony. But it turned into, like my story is too much. It's too advanced for the audience. And I know it's not, because every time I'm in the meeting, the audience is very intelligent. They're like, because of the feedback I'm giving of navigating disability benefits and how they intertwine and interact and affect other benefits, that lived experience comes from me. It's not coming from them that teach us benefits. They teach us benefits in this very basic, generic way that leaves out information, so we don't know exactly what to look for in our own situations. And they underestimate our intelligence every single time.
Before we go any further, Fitness IQ Camp says, "Hey, Minnie." And also, hello, Derek T. Tuggle. Lovely. Good says good morning to Dr. Tachi, the Dr. Vibe Show, and the chat room. Right back at you, Derek T. That's my man. What is up? Good stuff. Good stuff. Then right now, then you're just waiting to hear back from them, right?
Yeah, and then not send another email so fast.
Well, yeah, I appreciate your openness. That a lot of times we have to realize. I know there's at least one other person here. I'm not going to mention their name. That they sometimes are challenged acting on emotion instead of taking some time out. Actually, one of the perfect example here. There's a gentleman who's an associate of mine. When he was growing up, his mother did not treat him well. And basically his mother doesn't even speak with him anymore. And there's a number of things that he's angry about the way his mother's treating him, even to the point where his mother has cancer. He found out through his brother and sister. The mother didn't tell him directly. Right? And so he came to me a few weeks ago. He says, "I want you to see something." I say, "What?" He said he wrote a letter to her, and it was very angry. a lot of anger there. I said, I'm going to give you some feedback and a suggestion. Maybe write the letter on how she's hurt you, not from an anger perspective. And he asked me if I could help him write the letter.
Well, you need 2 letters. You need one that releases the anger, and then you need another one that explains the hurt. Because
for me, 2 letters maybe. I think the one is a hurt more than the anger, because the anger, I think he got the anger out by just writing the letter. It's out, and I think this is just me. I think more is achieved showing how much hurt instead of how much anger.
Yeah, if it's a conversation, but if it was just a letter to be a letter, the anger one needed to happen. Because my cousins went through that. My cousin went through that with her dad that passed away in January. Like when he was in hospice care, he wanted her to be there. And then we're trying to get her brother to get her there, and she wouldn't. And they both went through cancer. So I thought she would understand. She didn't show up because she was still angry. And she didn't release the anger. So if you're angry to a parent for everything that happened in the childhood, it's 2 letters. It's not 1. I've been through that with my parents. I wrote everybody 2 letters of 3 people.
Well, I you know what? I respect where everyone walks through the world different. For me, the anger part, I don't I guess everyone has different situations and everything. Everyone comes from a different lens. For me, in my situation, if I was in that, I would just write on the hurt instead of the anger, because the anger, I would have disposed of. I said, yeah, okay, whatever. The anger, it doesn't serve me good keeping the anger inside of me. I got rid of it.
But that's a personal growth thing you went through. So people that hold on to anger for a very, very long time, they haven't moved on of a bunch of other stuff.
100%. 100%. And he's also getting counseling too to handle, because I'm not qualified. I would not go into that ring because I'm not professional. I'm not trained to do that. I would not put myself, because not only would it impact me, would it impact him. So I don't want to be able to, I wouldn't be able to provide something that he needs. That's not the anger management. He's doing it on his own with a counselor, which is good. But getting back to your entrepreneurial journey, I think that my suggestion is just wait for them. And then if they don't change their position, you just got to take a look. Is it worth my energy? If it's not, if the time I'm spending on it is not worth the energy, then you have a decision to make. Well, you have a decision to make regardless.
Yeah, but then if they still want to do this whole member spotlight in their organization, I don't know if they actually have examples of what well done member spotlights are. That's why I made the other email. Like I gave them 4 examples.
Yeah, well,
and a YouTube video.
Yeah, but if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it.
No, it's not that. I think they wanted to do it, and then they weren't expecting mine. They weren't expecting what mine looked like.
Okay, so let me ask, is the challenge that they want to do it, they don't want to do it your way, or something else?
So the something else part is, I think they wanted to do it because that's the way they budget honorariums. They pre-plan what it is beforehand. But sure. I think they had a certain avatar of a certain person that would fit into that member spotlight. And because I'm more than that, the person that made the supervisor that makes all the boss decisions,
yeah,
she was thrown off because of her email. Like her email positioned it as, oh, I didn't know you would spotlight this and spotlight that and spotlight this. But that is my achievements. That is my accomplishments. So she was expecting a certain stereotype of a disabled person's achievements versus mine, that the person inviting me sees all the time. Because the person that's supervising the program coordinator is her boss, not mine. So when he vouched for me, he knows what my accomplishments are. He knows how I talk. He knows how I deliver messaging in the group. This person who just came back from maternity leave didn't see any of it at all. So
Okay.
when she came in with, "Oh, I didn't know you would fit into this other box."
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a stereotypical disabled person.
that I know.
Exactly. So anybody else who knows me, I'm very, very direct and I'm very, very like stern and aggressive in everything I do. That's not going to change because it's a member spotlight. It's going to be amplified.
Okay. Well, as I think I've said already, if there's not the alignment there, it may not be worth your time. You have to decide that.
Yeah, I'll know by
And,
Friday.
and again, you can't force them to think. You can't force this other individual. It's something that they have to decide, say yes or no, and just you move on.
And part of it too, the way they react to this or respond to this or how we work through it is also determine if I even stay with this organization as a client who's eligible for disability benefits and needs support. Like I'm now looking to make my own organization altogether now.
Wow. Okay.
It's only because there's a pattern happening in nonprofits that claim to help people with disabilities that I'm seeing that they're not helping us. They're keeping us stuck because they need to fit their shareholders to keep them like when they pitch their grants and
Yeah.
vision, because we don't like I don't fit into all those boxes. And they want me to fit into those boxes, which I've had this resistance thing with another organization where I left. I literally just I'm gone. Or I sent them emails of like I'm quitting emails to them or letters to them that you're not using my resources properly. I need to go somewhere else. And after like 3 or 4 organizations, yeah, I need to go make my own. There's plenty of space in this nonprofit charity social enterprise. I can go make my own.
Well, there's room for everybody. It's just how much effort, and I think it's going, especially from a Canadian lens, it's going to be very interesting to see how the not for profit space evolves over the next little while. I had a
They follow trends. They follow trends.
Yeah, I do know. Dr. Tachi says it sounds like the current organizations are no longer serving you, so it's time to make your own.
Yeah, I've outgrown almost all of them.
Yeah, it's time.
And I say almost all of them because I met with another national charity Friday, and they love my idea. They connected me with an organization in the Yukon, and the Yukon for me was only a section of a map I would color in geography class.
It's actually ironic you mentioned that. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about, I've mentioned periodically during my online journey, how one of the great moments I had during my journey is taking a trip up to the Northwest Territories and being exposed and respecting and loving the environment up there, not only the people environment, but the environment of just the way it goes up there and just the people. There's so much richness up there, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that nothing just happens. And if you feel it's time to grow and do something on your own, there you go. And the whole, I'll keep it short. I had a very long conversation with someone who has a lot of lens in regards to not-for-profit, especially especially the Black not-for-profits and their relationship with with the new federal government. It looks like it's going to change because Mark Carney, for those who don't know, is the new Prime Minister of Canada. He's very much a numbers guy, and compared to Justin Trudeau when he was in government, he was more a goodwill, giving out money. Mr. Carney is basically putting out the message that if we're putting money, we've got to see the return on investment. If there's not a return, if we don't feel there's a return on investment, we're not giving any money out to any organization. So you've already known, if you already look at it from the Black nonprofit lens, there's a lot less activity of Black nonprofits than there were even 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's by design.
Well, that's another conversation itself, but even more so now with the new government that's in power, it's going to get reined in. And this is the thing that not only not for profits, but a lot of for profit Black organization and business got to think about the sustainability. You know,
Yeah,
this
which
this
is
yeah, that's a whole other conversation. Yeah, the sustainability piece is really, really important. And who knows, there'll be another election in the next few years. It may not be a liberal government. It may be a PC government. They came real close.
yeah, but there's 2 other parties. We're forgetting there's 4 in total that run.
But
Actually,
yeah,
5.
yeah, but what one of the things that the last federal election in Canada showed is we really become a two-party system.
Which is sad.
Right? So the Walla Mala says Carney is a businessman capitalist. Yeah, well, look, governor of Canada, governor of England. Money's his jam. I think he also served time on Wall Street. Money is his jam. And just don't, and people are watching this, especially in Canada, just don't think that the government of the United States is in a financial crisis. The government of Canada is in a financial crisis too. We're not hearing about it as much because we get so much news from south of the border. There's huge deficits, and even the Canadian deficit, not only federally but provincially, is growing because of what's going on with the whole tariffs things. Like the Ontario government is in their last budget just like a whole bunch of money that they're spending because of changing economic conditions. And I always find it interesting when a government says, "Oh, we're going to reach a balanced budget within the next 3 or 4 years." I go, "Really? How are you going to do that? How are you
The
going to
thing
do
that
that?"
made a deficit for 100 years, they're trying to do it in 3 and 4.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not how you get out of debt. Even regular people take more than time than that to get out of debt.
All right. The Walla Mala says PC may have won if it wasn't for the states and nobody resigned. Yeah.
They legally give you 5 years to get out a consumer proposal as an individual or a business who legally files a consumer proposal in Canada.
That would be a very interesting person to bring on, someone who does consumer proposals. That would be
You might know from people that are accountants, might know people.
Yeah.
People that are CPAs might know people.
I'm going to write that down. Yeah, I'm going to write that down. I would love to bring someone on and just see how is that industry? Are they getting more?
That I know. They're booming. I know that. Because of the one I follow that file mine. I follow their podcast, Doug Hoy's. Like the increase of proposals they're filing now is rising.
So they're doing good business.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I would think that's happening, and that market's only going to grow. That's from what
especially that organization's been following the trends of it since late 90s till now. Late 90s they started their business.
Oh, Dr. Tachi has a good question for you. Me a little bit, you more. She says, do you both think that Carney will be better than Trudeau in terms of connecting with Canadians with disabilities?
No. And he didn't appoint anybody to be the ministry of that. He moved it into jobs and family. So when he moved it to jobs and family, he's dismissing all the challenges a person with a disability faces because he's going to focus on employment for people with disabilities instead of the lived experience challenges we face.
There's your answer, Dr. Tachi.
It's a huge mess. And it's a huge mess in the sense that, okay, yes, I can survive with my entrepreneurship. Many people can't. They don't know that it's an option for them. They're not thinking it. And they're not thinking it because they depend on the nonprofits who are stuck, scared, and they project their stuck and scared onto the clients. This is why I'm outgrowing every organization, because they're not bringing a solution to solve individual people's problems. And every time I bring it up, the people in the meeting, like the peers in the meeting, the other people with the disability in the meeting, they email me directly for help to navigate what they can do. Because I know there's a problem in the organization to help disabled people. Because the point where I'm getting people in Spain, New Zealand, the UK, reaching out to me of globally people with disabilities. every country has screwed up everybody with a disability. The 1.3 billion around the world, yeah, they're not going to survive, especially if they're getting government assistance. That all of them keep them below the poverty line of $2,000. And then forget that the reason we have disability from the government is because we fit the definition of having an impairment that's 12 months or more that stops us from being gainfully employed or reduces our activity to be fully gainfully employed. They forget about it every single time. Like Alberta is clawing back the Canada disability benefit of $200 from everybody who's eligible for it, and they're forcing you to apply for it. Luckily, Ontario said no, they're not going to claw it back. They made the announcement May 27. Like, it's not good. It's nowhere good. And we don't have enough people that are not disabled pushing on the government to support people with disabilities because they think we can work. We're not all able to work. And then when a regular non-healthy disabled person is able to work and then not able to work, they go through the same system and lose their mind how bad it is. Because I've seen them posted online all the time. The husband had cancer, then they apply for government assistance. And then she's finding out that because the husband has cancer and they're applying for disability benefits, the Ontario Disability Support Program, the whole family is losing all of their assets because how the program is designed and because nobody pushed on the government to make it more flexible for the individual instead of the whole family unit. Because provincially, when you apply for disability benefits, they look at the whole family, not the individual with the disability. Then they look at the whole family income. So with the family income, in this case, the wife makes $82,000. The husband has cancer. He's not making any money. He has no resources to support anybody. And then he is applying for social assistance disability, thinking it's going to help him individually, but it's not. It's going to affect the entire family. And then because they're being denied because she makes $82,000, they can't afford everybody and cancer treatments. And cancer is the most expensive thing you can have to pay for.
Yep, 100%.
So how much evidence do you want me to say that Mark Carney is not doing the job to help people with disabilities? I have enough evidence since 1969.
Well, I know that there's a person that you weren't a fan of who's no longer in government.
Yeah, but she still thinks that $200 is a good idea. $200 and living below the poverty line? Are you kidding me?
Is it her or people above her?
It doesn't matter. She voted for it, and then she repeated the script that they gave her to repeat back. She's the puppet.
There you go.
And then if I talk to her, she'll repeat some script again. No, thank you.
So Dr. Chachi says, and $82,000 is nothing in the scheme of things, and you have a family, and that's the sole amount being brought in, and that's $82,000 gross, I'm sure. And then the Walamala says, how were they losing on assets?
So when you get approved for Ontario Disability Support Program, the couple's asset limit is $50,000. They exempt your house, they exempt your car, they exempt life insurance, they exempt the registered disability savings plan. So if you have a regular registered retirement account from your employer or a pension, it has to be specifically a certain type. They want a locked in type. If it's not a locked in type, they pressure you to lower it below $50,000 while you're eligible for Ontario Disability Program, which is either you individually with a disabled person or your spouse is disabled with it, or the couple together. So there's a disabled couple or both in the couple are disabled, or one is disabled, or the single person's disabled. The single person disabled, they get reduced down to $40,000 of assets, but they're allowed $100,000 in a life insurance or a trust fund. That's how they lower your assets. And that's for Ontario. British Columbia, Nova Scotia, Alberta, all have a different asset limit. So, and then Quebec has a different asset limit. So each one of them on the provincial level looks at your income and your assets. Any disability program on the federal level only looks at your income, not your assets. This is how they keep you poor. This is how they legally keep you poor. So the minute you get a car accident, can't go back to work, or you max out short-term disability, or you max out EI disability, then you go on to the provincial social assistance program, the welfare program. This is how they get you. This is how they keep millions of people stuck. And then millions of people lose their hope, lose their drive, lose their ambition, and then they're on disability, and then people think we're scamming the system.
There you go. There you go.
And it's baked into policy every time we have liberal and conservatives say they're going to help people and do nothing. This is also why I'm not excited about the $200 from the Canada Disability Benefit, because it's not going to do much in my budget. I already planned it out for the next 6 months. Then I have to reapply for the disability tax credit because they only see my disability from 2008 to 2025. Then I have to go to my doctor, pay a fee, fill out the form again. Hopefully it still gets accepted. And if it's not accepted, I have to go through the appeal process and get a lawyer to help me. It's a whole thing. And that's with every disability application there is, whether it's from the private insurance from your employer, or you pay for one out of pocket, or you go on government assistance. Every one of them make you prove how bad your disability is, and they only want you to stay worse all the time to get their benefits. And then as you climb out of it, they make you feel bad so people don't work. The reason why people on disability don't work is because the way the policy is set up.
Okay, the Walamala says they say what they want, what gonna. They say they what gonna. I don't understand. They say what they want to get elected. Not, I don't get. I know what you're trying to say. I don't know how to say it. Let's put it that way.
You want me to give it a try since you tried 3 times? They say what they want to say to get elected. They dangle carrots. They give you promises. They do all the politicking.
That's age old. That's nothing new. That's
but like
years.
This is how, like they promised the disability benefit in 2020. It took them 5 years to make it official and put it into the budget. Then when they said we're going to put it into the budget, they said it's $200. When they made the policy of the whole thing, they didn't make sure in the policy said that the provinces can't touch it, because they didn't say the provinces can't touch it, and they left it to the provinces to decide if they'll touch it or not. Alberta's going to claw back $200. So if you're originally getting $1,500 a month from Alberta's program, and then you get the disability benefit and the disability other tax credit, and you're eligible for the other one, that $200 that you get based on your income being below $33,000 for a single person, then $200 from your Alberta program that you thought you can get, that you automatically live on, that you automatically survive on, is gone because you were expecting to get your $1,500 plus your $200.
Too much math for me. I'm done.
It's not that hard. It's really not that hard.
Too much math.
It's really not that hard. And they force you to go through every program that has limitations because they suspend your file. And when they suspend your file, they control your health benefits and prescriptions.
So the Walamala says, I think she cleaned up her English. They say what they're going to do to get elected. Thank you, the Walamala. Thank you for that clarity on that. My intuition was saying that's what you want to say, but it was a little bit of a jambalaya. Now I love jambalaya as a meal once in a while, but that was a little bit too much jambalaya for me English wise. All right, we're gonna shut it down. Minnie on Cam, what are you working on? Well, you told us what you're working on outside of waiting for that response from that organization. What else are you working on?
I have to focus on my business making $5,000 a month right now.
Okay, there you go.
And it's because of everything I just told you about being in poverty, and I'm sick and tired of it.
You're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yes.
All right. That's
literally the what they control is your freedom, and you have to buy back your freedom in the system to get back the control.
Well, it gets back to what I shared with earlier. The more options you have, the more freedom you have.
Yeah.
And I heard something a gentleman said over the weekend. You don't get paid for your work. You get paid for your value.
Yeah. And this honorarium is not even close.
Right. So I want to share that with everyone today. If you're nothing against people who have a job, but you're not getting paid for your work, you get paid for the value you bring the company. If you don't bring value to the company, you're not going to be there long. Sorry.
Yeah. And then I found last night, because I'm up at 6 a.m., There's a whole training out there of building your entrepreneurial mindset, even if you're in a corporation.
Oh yeah, I always did that. Even back from days when I was working in corporations, I said, hey, what can I take from what they're educating me to massage on my own? And I continuously do that from people that I learn from. I don't
It's
take
not
no
that. Like there's actual personality characteristics in
Oh.
entrepreneurs that make them adaptable and adjust to being in the marketplace
Yeah.
that employees don't have.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's definitely that, to me, there's definitely a difference between an employee mindset and an entrepreneur mindset.
And now I found 2 trainings that teach it.
There you go. What's something I could? I think we shared enough today. Mignon Cam, thanks for jumping on. Hadn't seen you in a minute, but I know you always got things going on.
Well, I mean, the break was because living with a disability and navigating everything that's in it is super stressful.
Of course, that's fully understood. That's fully if someone doesn't understand that, I would say your wood is wet, right? So definitely 100% that, and we all need breaks, right? To me, taking a break is part of the process.
Yeah. And then
returning,
slowly returning into, oh, nothing has changed with disability, which means I have to save myself. The ship is going down and I need to find my life jacket.
There you go. Well, we're speaking that you're going to, how put it, rise above the storm.
I will. I'm unfortunately, I'm leaving a lot of people behind.
Well, hey, that's now one of the things when I say my exit on every conversation, one of the things I say is sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger.
I'm not smaller. I'm just stronger.
No, but I mean your circle. Okay. Oh, Soul Reaction by Sharon TV. Hey, how are you?
I think I know this, Sharon. I think we talked about her YouTube channel.
You know, I'm actually going to check it out right now because I think I may know her too. I'm going to go on it and I'm going to just take a look right now. I may know her, I may not know her. She looks familiar, but I'm not going to say I do know her.
I do. So you can figure out if you know her. I do.
I'm curious. Oh, while I'm doing my curiosity for just a moment, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel, I would love if you could rate today's show. 1 being 5 being out of park. So all you need to do is, if you're watching on YouTube, press in the put one of the numbers in the comments, and you will get instant reaction. I'm just trying to see. I'm curious now. Do I know this Sharon? No, I don't think. We may have. She's probably knows me more than I know her, because sometimes I don't remember everybody. All right, we got some fun. Oh, good. Matt Duffy, what is up? Good to see you in the house. Shirley, all right. I love this. This is one of the softwares I love. Part of the software that I use, I love. It gives you instant reaction on what people think about. Yes, she goes, exactly. Soul Reaction. So reach out to me. I would love to chat with you, Sharon TV. Maybe we have you come on the show. What did you think about? I like that. Everyone's giving 5s. I'm humbled because of that. All right. So that's it for today's conversation, because I have a meeting at the top of the hour. So I like to give myself breaks in between. I don't like doing here you go. More and more people are coming on. Isn't that crazy sometimes when you're doing a live stream and you're getting ready
because of the algorithm? It's because of the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
So the longer you're on, the more people see it, and the more
Yeah.
potential of more new viewers tune in to show to build your audience to grow the subscriber count. So if they're watching and not subscribed, because you probably have more people who watch or not subscribed, they need to subscribe.
Yeah, it's always crazy. Soul reaction by Shanti says that would be nice. Well, you're going to see in a few moments how you can get a hold of me. So reach out and let's see if we can make that happen.
And that was my plug of explaining to people why to subscribe.
There you go. So as always, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. We have hit 1,820 subscribers. Yes, let's go for 1,830 next. I'd like to go in 10 increments. And just a little bit about that. Yes, it's nice to have subscribers. I know people that don't have large subscriber bases are doing well financially. Not everybody, though, but being a content creator, it's always interesting now when I hear people, oh, I want to be a full-time content creator. I said, do you know what you're up against? Like if you would have told me that 15 years ago, sure.
I know. And for me doing it for 22 years,
Yeah.
I'm a little exhausted.
Yeah.
Little.
It's changed drastically, especially since the pandemic. But go back to subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, hit the notification button. Also like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com or click on the link for the Discord group. Advertise your business, product, or service. Please email me. Said the email address already. Won't do a repeat. If you want to get in touch with Ryan Knight, Ryan Oneil Knight.com, and that's Knight with a KN, not an N. LinkedIn, Ryan Oneil Knight. Instagram at Ryan.Knight99. Email, work with me, RyanOneilKnight.com. Website for me, thedrvibeshow.com, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show, Instagram at The Dr. Vibe Show, X at DRVIBESHOW. And believe it or not, I had said to many people, I'm not on X a lot. I did go on X for a little bit this weekend because I was blessed to be a winner of a contest. And the only way I could get or receive the winnings of the contest was go on X. So amen, I remembered my login and my password for X to get the prize. And once I get it, I'll actually share people about it once I start using it. And I'm getting free use of it for a year. Yes. All right, Dr. Vibe on Substack, drvibe.substack.com/subscribe. And by this time next week, you will start seeing posts, more video posts on the Substack channel. Now, right now, I do broadcast on Substack Live, but what happens is it keeps it as a draft, and I got to put it back on there. But there will be posts that will stay there on Substack. So by this time next week, so I would encourage you to subscribe to my Substack channel, and you'll get some more content from various platforms on Blue Sky at drvibe.bsky.social. You can watch replays of this epic conversation on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Ryan Oneil Knight on YouTube and Afro Caribbean Business Network on Facebook. Any last messages you have, Minnie, before we exit?
Stay hydrated, and if you have pets, enjoy their company because they reduce stress.
I don't have a pet. I've never been many years ago. I had a cat. Nah. And I'm not a big fan of dogs because I don't trust them, to be honest with you. But I know we have a mutual friend that has a dog, Maxwell, who
I know he's massive.
And I wonder, she's probably I was gonna say why she has that dog, but I'm not gonna go there. But
what I just said, they lower stress and blood pressure.
Yeah, they do for some people, not all of us, but some people. All right, Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. As I said earlier on, block assumptions, aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Oh, well, the Wallamala says my pet's all deceased. Okay. And so love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. If you're not making money, make history. And then finally, make it better. We will see you on Friday with Mr. Wayne Harris. There may be some... if you're following me on YouTube, I will be doing a Hanging with Dr. Vibe episode sometime this week. So be on the watch out, where I just come on. And I didn't get... My producer said, you should talk about your new show. Well, we'll talk a little bit more on Friday. Or I talk about periodic, where I'm just going to come on, just hang out, whatever's on my alleged mind, just chat, hang out. I'll probably have my new favorite drink, ginger lemonade, and just sip and hang out with you guys and just chat with what's going on, whether from my mind or yours. So we just hang in with Dr. Vibe. So check that new show out. So God bless, peace, well, keep the faith, walk good, and we will see you on these digital streets. Thank you again, Minnie. Be well and keep the faith. Bye, everybody.
This whole thing of using your business with plant-based products, don't you think your life should reflect that too?
Juke him, Carolyn. Juke him. The family loves us here because they're saying Fitness IQ Can says put a wig on to get in.
Oh my God.
Like the ideas are just coming fast and furious here this morning. What? Okay, look at this. Global Women Ambassador. Good morning. Look forward. Okay.